From Studio 4 Hot Yoga and Pilates. Sorry, I had a little trouble logging on to get started. But I'm going to offer you just a quick half-hour yoga class. I know some people are worried about coming to take hot yoga, but we do offer a lot of other things here too. We have meditation classes, we have bar classes, Pilates classes. So there is more than just super hot yoga. But I will give you just this is just going to be a little bit of breath work and some easy movement. I know this can be a stressful time for everyone. Moms home homeschooling or parents homeschooling their kids. I have 4 daughters all home from college right now that really don't want to be home from college. So I know there's stress in my household, everyone trying to do online classes. And I think we tend to sit a lot more right now and move a little bit less. Thank goodness there's some sun outside and it's getting easier to get out. But when it's cold and we don't have schedules to follow, we do tend to sit a little bit more than normal. So I'm just going to climb back onto my mat and I'm going to sit on a yoga block. You don't have to sit on anything. You can sit on the floor. If you have a pillow on your couch, you can go ahead and grab that. So just to sit, I'm going to cross my ankles in easy pose. Just rest my hands on my knees or thighs. So you can take a position close to this. If it's uncomfortable for you to sit like this, you can kneel on your knees. You can be sitting on a chair. We'll just start with some easy neck movements, some movements for the spine, and some breath. And try to get you stretched out, feeling a little bit less stressed, a little bit more mobile. So tuck your chin just slightly to keep the back of your neck good and long. Shut your eyes. Let's start with 5 deep breaths. Inhale through your nose. And exhale through your mouth. Inhale through your nose. Exhale through your mouth. You can take 3 more of those on your own. And then just try to move that breath in and out only through your nose. In through your nose, out through your nose. And 5 more like that. Relax your shoulders down your back. Keep trying to sit up a little bit taller, a little bit straighter. And you're just looking for a breath that's smooth and even. A lot of the classes that we teach at the studio are vinyasa classes. And that simply means moving your body along with your breath. And still breathing in and out through your nose. Bring your right ear to your right shoulder. And then you can put your hand on top of your head and stretch a little bit more. And take the opposite arm and creep it either across the floor or just let it sway off to the side. See how much space you can put between your ear and your shoulder just by gently putting a little bit of pressure on your head. And then release that hand and tuck your chin toward your chest. And up tall again with your neck. And then we'll go left ear toward your left shoulder. Take a few big breaths. Or I'm sorry, opposite way, right ear, right shoulder. I don't know. The other way. Take a couple big breaths. And then go ahead and add your hand on top of that. Stretch a little bit further, a little more. And the arm can creep out to the side. Create a little more space between your ear and your shoulder. And then release that and let your head fall forward again, chin to chest. I'm just going to take one hand at a time, right at the back of my head, keeping the elbows wide. Press down on your head a little bit, but don't round your back.
back. So your spine should still stay nice and straight as you put even weight pressing down on your head, but your head's pushing up into your hands at the same time for a nice neck stretch. And then on an inhale, big wide open elbows, lay back in those arms. And two more like that. Chin to chest, pressing down on your head, but also pushing your head up into your hands. And then inhale, big wide elbows, hard up toward the ceiling, lay your head back in those arms. One more time, chin to chest. And then inhale, open up. So we're going to keep the elbows wide and just sway side to side a couple times. Maybe you can even look up toward that elbow up in the air. And then let one arm go down to the floor, side bend, reach across, big stretch. So if you just took your hand and brought it to your shoulder here, ring a few big circles, loosen that up. Take a notice of what's happening in your shoulder, how your chest feels, and then you can even open that up to bigger, wider circles. And bring yourself right over to the opposite side, hand down, big stretch across. Deep breath. And then your hand can come towards your shoulder, making a few big circles. Maybe a big, long arm. One more side bend. And then rise up. And we'll bring both hands onto our knees for some seated cats and cows. So you just hold on to your knees, tuck your chin to your chest, and let your back get really, really round. That's your cat pose. And then on an inhale, pull your heart forward. Cow pose. Exhale. Inhale. 3 more. One last time. Really round back. Hang back away from those legs. Let your chin fall toward your chest. Back of your neck stretches. All of those back bones. And then on the inhale, pull your heart forward. Then 3 big breaths with both arms, lifting up, 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 up. Inhale and exhale. So if you've been taking advantage of the nicer weather the past couple of days, you've been raking. I was raking last week when it was nice and my shoulders were really stiff and sore. This should help you a little bit. Reach your arms up in the air. Take one hand and grab the other wrist. Lift it up and then side bend here. And back up and switch hands. Grab the other wrist. Lift up to the sky and side bending. And release that out. Bring your hands to both shoulders. A couple more big scrolls here. And lift your right arm up in the air and let that come straight down your back. Lay your head back into your arm. Stretch your tricep. Take a couple big breaths. While that arm is reaching back behind you, you might even lay your head back into your arm back bend a little bit. And then releasing to change to the other side. Reach your hand down your back. Lie back in your arm. And then release both arms to the ceiling one more time. Hug your fists a few times. Roll your wrists. Loosen those up. And then we're going to come onto hands and knees. All fours position. Spread your fingers out wide right under your shoulders. If your toes feel good tucked, that's fine. Otherwise, flat feet. And then round your back as you exhale. Cat. And extend your spine as you inhale. You don't have to stay with me. If your breath is a little bit faster or a little bit slower, honor that. Move your body along with your breath. One more time. And then we'll come to a neutral spine, a long body. Take a peek over your right shoulder towards your right heel, side bend, and then go the other way over your left shoulder. One more time each way. Look over your shoulder, shoulder and then back to center. And then you can check in with your balance. Reach your right leg straight back behind you. Flex the foot. Turn the pinky toe down to the floor so everything is long and even. And just wake up the bottom half of your body by pulsing the heel a few times. And pull that knee deep into your chest, rounding your back like the cat, and extending out. 3 more. Pull, pull. One more time. Pull in tight. Reach out. And then lower your toes to the ground. Just take a calf stretch and back of your leg stretch by pushing your weight back into that back heel. And lower the right knee. Take the left leg out. Square off your hips. Turn the left pinky toe down toward the floor. And pulse a few times to wake up the lower part of your body. And then pull the knee in toward your nose as you round your back like a cat. And reach straight out. 3 more. Exhale. Inhale. One more. Reach out. Lower the toes to the ground and push some weight back into that heel. Stretch the back of your leg. If you think you can move into a plank, take the right leg back with you and hold on to that for a breath or 2. If that's not going to work, staying down on your knees is perfectly fine. The next place we'll go is child's pose. So open your knees as wide as your mat or nice and wide on the floor and sit your bottom back over your heels, reaching your arms forward and resting your head. Great stretch for the hips and the low back. Walk your hands over to the left as far as you can walk them and let your head fall, let your head hang, but keep the breath steady. And then walk your hands right back through the center, over to the right this time. Head heavy, breath deep. And walk your hands back to the center. We'll rise again to all fours. Curl your toes and then downward facing dog, lifting your bottom up in the air. Pressing your arms into the mat, pushing your hands into the mat. You could have straight legs on this, but if the back of your legs is really tight, keep the knees soft, but your back nice and long. So you can straighten the legs, be in an upside down V position. Or if that's a little too much for the back of your legs, your hamstrings, just soften the knees, but keep your upper body nice and long. Take 2 big breaths here, in through your nose, out through your mouth. And then bend your knees, creep your toes up toward your hands. Bend your knees, and we'll take a rag doll position. So you're going to just bend your knees, hang your head. You can either leave your hands on the floor, if you have some blocks or books you want to put your hands on, that works. Or you can reach around and grab opposite elbows, but really just let your head fall, let it hang. This stretch isn't for the back of your legs, it's for your spine, for your back. It's some decompression, some stress relief. So hang here for a few breaths, try to breathe as deeply as you can. Make those lungs really big. And then exhale all the air out. Bring your hands to your shins and then walk them up to your thighs and take a few of those cats and cows. While you're standing, round back, extended back, round back, extended back, and then go to the round back and roll yourself all the way up to a standing position. So standing tall, palms facing forward, shoulders rolling down your back. Call this mountain pose, Tadasana. Shut your eyes, take a big breath.
something that you're grateful for. Sometimes it's hard when we're quarantined and we can't work and do the things we love to do. It's hard to think about being grateful for something, but now is the time that it's most important. Grateful for what? A body that's strong. Grateful that we can breathe. Grateful we can still take a walk. Grateful we have this time to practice. Grateful for your family. Reach up to the sky on an inhale, and then take an exhale and forward fold. Your hands can either go to your thighs, your shins. If you can reach down to the floor, that works too. Take an inhale and make your back really long, and on the exhale, round down. You're going to want to keep your knees soft and plant your hands and step the right foot to the back edge of the mat. If your hips feel tight, rock forward and back a few times. But we'll bend that front knee, and you're going to turn your back foot down onto the mat for Warrior One. So when you can, stand up, but make sure that foundation that you just set down is really strong, so you can bend the front knee nice and deep, extend your arms to the sky, and focus on your breath. And then bring your hands down to the mat. Can you step the left foot back to meet the right foot and spend 2 or 3 breaths in the down dog. And where you can keep the knees soft, or you can stretch them out. But then you'll need to bend them to walk them up towards your hands. Soft knees, heavy head. Take an inhale to a long flat back. And exhale to a round back, and lift your arms to the sky, a reverse swan dive. I'm going to take this off, it's getting in my way. And then bring your hands down by your side for Tadasana. Mountain pose. Arms by your side, chest lifted, nice strong breath. We'll do the other side, reach your arms up to the ceiling. Exhale, forward fold, bend those knees, and step your left foot to the back side of the mat. And if you can, rock forward and back. If your hips feel tight, or if you just want to stay down a little bit deeper and stretch, that works too. And then we'll plant the back foot. So you're going to turn your heel inward as those toes point outward. You can walk your hands up on your thigh, but come toward a tall position, to a standing position, and see if you can just bend that front knee a little bit more. Stretch the back leg nice and strong. And hold for a couple breaths. Bring your hands down toward the mat, even if you have to crawl down to your leg. And then step back to down dog. In the down dog this time, let's straighten the right leg a little bit more. Reach the right heel down on the floor. Maybe nod your head. And switch to the other leg. Bend the right knee, straighten the left leg. Bend them both and walk your feet up towards your hands. Press your hands into your shins, long back. Round down deep. Maybe you can take a deeper forward fold this time. And then lift your arms up to the sky. Now walk your feet completely together, knees together too. Bring your hands towards your heart. And sit your bottom back like someone just slid a chair underneath your bottom. This is called chair pose. So in the chair, you don't want to be leaning forward too much. You don't want it to make you fall forward. You should be able to sit back and look right down your knees and see your toes there. So you're trying to actually get down like there is a chair under your bottom that you'd like to sit on. And then twist that. Let's go to the right first. You can just twist here. Some people can get their elbow down either thigh, a deeper twist. Do what works for you. And then lift and stand tall. And come back down. Find the chair again. Bottom back. When you look straight down, you want to be able to see your toes wiggling. And twist to the left this time, whether you stay up or hook the elbow down on the leg.
Reach for the sky. Exhale, soft knees. Plant your hands down on the mat and step your right leg back one more time. This time, bring your right knee to the ground and start to lean forward to stretch the hips. And when you can either stay here, but if you feel like you can walk your hands up onto your left thigh, do that. Reach your arms up to the ceiling and lean into the hips if you can. Wide open heart again. Even open up your arms if that feels good to you. Stretch out your chest. You can think about bringing your thumbs together behind your back. And then bring your hands toward the floor and shift some weight back for half of a split. You're going to keep your hips right over that right knee, not pulling back to sit on the heel, and hang your head toward the floor. Then we'll balance on one leg, standing L shape. Step on the left foot, walk your hands out in front of you so they end up underneath your shoulders, and lift the right leg. So if you're feeling confident in your balance, you could pick your hands up towards your heart, or you could fly with big wide wings. Reach back to your foot, or just keep the hands on the floor. One more breath. And you'll bring the feet to meet. Press your hands into your shins, stretch. Long back, round down, reach for the sky. And exhale, fold again. Hands to the floor, step the left foot back this time. Gently, slowly lower the back knee to the mat, and you can start to lean into the hip if that works for you. You can stay right here, or walk your hands up onto the right thigh, or even go beyond that, reaching toward the ceiling, wide open heart. And if your chest, your shoulders need to stretch, bring your hands down and think about reaching your thumbs together behind your head. And then eventually, hands to the mat. Once you've got a good stretch, shift your hips back so your left hip is stacked over your left knee. And let your forehead hang toward the floor. And then the balance on this side. Put your foot down, walk your hands up, raise that back leg up, squared off hips. You can add balance, hands to your heart, big wide wings, reaching back behind you, whatever works. And then bring the feet together and hang your head, shake it out a few times. Press your hands once more into your shins, long flat back, and deepest forward fold you've taken yet. And then arms to the sky, add a nice back bend to this. And stand up. Take your hands right to your low back. So you press them right into your back. Think about squeezing your elbows together. Push your hips forward. Lift your heart up and back bend. Use those hands. Let them push into your hips for a bit more support. And then rise. Reach for the sky once more. And then come right down onto your mat, down onto the floor, or onto the ground, wherever you are, and give your knees a squeeze toward your chest. Let's leave the toes on the ground, but spread the arms wide. Both knees can fall over to the right as you look up. Or if you wanted to take that deeper, you could cross your right arm over your body, grab your left hip, and kind of guide that further to the right. And then back to the center. Pause while you're here. Pick your hips up in the air. Stretch out front side of your body and reset it before you put it back down. Toes on the ground, and then both knees can go over to the left. While you look up, or you could look right, and you can also make that stretch deeper by taking your left hand over to your right hip and pulling across your body. Big breath, deep breath. to the center one more time. Finishing up here, just get those heels real close to your buns and your arms along by your side. Lift up, 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 up into a bridge. I'm gonna walk your shoulders under you. Keep lifting, stretch that front side of your body. Take a huge breath. If you can, see your lungs expand, contract, and then lower, lower, lower down. Before you pull your knees into your chest, walk your feet out. Maybe you sway the knees side to side, let your spine neutralize. And when your back feels good, give your knees a squeeze. And then I'll just have you stretch right out on your mat, wide arms, wide legs. Corpse pose. So you'll breathe in really deeply and breathe out really deeply. Try to take the breath in through your nose and let it out through your mouth. This rest, this final part of class we call Shavasana, where you just lie on your mat and breathe. Relax and restore and refresh and renew. It's important. It doesn't feel like much, but it is an important part of your practice. So if this was a little bit of a challenge for you today, I think they're saving the video on a website, so I hope that you'll revisit and give it a try again. I promise you, if you try 4 or 5 times, it'll get a little bit better, a little bit easier each time. And if you've ever thought of stopping into the studio, once we return to normal, please don't hesitate. We make our classes available to everyone. My teachers are amazing, they will help you. Hot yoga is hard, but we do have other kind of yoga too, but don't let the hard stop you. We want it to work for you. We want you to love it as much as we do, and we want you to move your bodies. So we offer yoga, Pilates, hot yoga, meditation, bar classes, all kinds of things. But come in someday when we're open again and check us out. Thank you so much for tuning in. Namaste.